talk about very often is doing laundry. So doing laundry on the road is the pain in the butt, especially if you don't have a washer and dryer in your rig. We do not. But when you can find a good laundromat, it's so worth it. A good laundromat just makes it not so stressful. And so a lot of times when we're staying on the road, I'll search for like good reviews on laundromats, whether or not they accept credit cards, stuff like that. So we're in North Carolina. We're staying in Lenoir, but this is in Granite, North Carolina. What's this one called, babe? Granite Laundry?
Granite Community Laundry.
Granite Community Laundry. That does have an attendant. She's fabulous. And it's clean. And it has multiple washers of different sizes, dryers of different sizes. So whenever you're doing laundry, that's what you want. I'll show you.
We even get a little card.
So you load money onto the card.
Load money onto the card.
And then the machines take the card.
Yep.
But
Easy peasy.
And it's clean and it's just, gotta love it. Granite Community Laundry here in North Carolina. Check it out.
All right, so we came to a place called Dos Amigos for lunch. They got a nice little spread of different sauces.
What's this?
I don't know. Okay. Stace, what'd you go with?
Well, I went with fajita nachos, but I wasn't expecting
Nachos as big as your face? Bigger than your face, like two of your faces.
that's a lot of nachos.
I went with
It's a dinner tonight.
enchiladas. Yeah, this is definitely going to be dinner. Holy cow.
It looks good though.
Okay, so we came to Walmart, pick up a few things, and we are cereal people. We like cereal anytime. And then that begs the question, is cereal just for breakfast? Or who else out there likes cereal anytime? All right, so I'm going with chocolate peanut butter Cheerios just because from time to time, I might have a little sweet tooth at night. Might want a bowl of cereal. Stace?
I don't know. I might go with Oat Honey Crunch, or I might go with Cinnamon Light. I don't know. It's too much. It's overwhelming. There's too many cereals.
Put in the comments, do you just like having cereal for breakfast?
Or do you have cereal night?
Or do you every once in a while just say, you know what, tonight's a whatever night, we're gonna have a cereal night? Or do you just like having cereal available for any time? You got a sweet tooth, you just want a snack? Let us know. Put in the comments. Let us know what you think. Later.
Way through our bags, hit the road, didn't look back. Windows down, map in my lap, chasing the sky on love's fast track. From the peaks to the prairies, through the town small and merry, every sunset tells a new tale. Adventure's our partner, winds in the sail.
So we're headed out. We are going to Fort Defiance.
That's right.
This is a homestead, and it was named Fort Defiance after the original Fort Defiance, which I think was in actually Ohio. That was pre-Revolutionary War. And this one was built for the founder of Lenoir. I think his name was William Lenoir.
Yeah.
And this was the Lenoir home. It was completed in 1792, and they lived there until 1961. So some member of his family lived there up until 1961. There was originally 5 outbuildings, and I think there were spaced like 75 feet within a 75 feet radius. There are only 2 buildings remaining now. That's the main home, and I think it was like the smokehouse.
Yeah, smokehouse.
So we're going to go and check that out. It reopened, I believe, in 1972 as a nonprofit with tours and stuff.
Yep, they did some
So
renovations.
I'm really excited to see it because, I mean, a family lived there for so many generations. I mean, we're talking 1792 to 1961. That's insane to
Plus,
me.
you get to see some of those, the way people lived back then. Because I'm just curious if it's going to show like maybe how they lived through the different generations. The
Or if
different,
it's just the way it
or if it's just the way it
left
was.
it.
Right,
I don't
right.
know. We'll see. We're going to try to get as much footage as we can when we get there. But it should be cool.
Yep.
So stick around.
Yep, yep. Okay, so we're not allowed to take any footage inside, but we can outside. So we're first looking at the Lenoir family cemetery.
She said that the oldest grave site here is from 1795, and it was William Lenoir's 2-year-old child. Um, and then they've also buried somebody as recently as 2021. So the Lenoir family descendants can choose to be buried in the family site still. And some of these are just remarkable. There's generals. They're from the 1800s, 1700s. It's so crazy to me.
1825 to 1912, 1877. Bessie and Lula lay down to sleep together. Obviously, we want to be respectful of the family cemetery, but this is a piece of history here in this absolutely beautiful area. We're going to walk around some of the other grounds so you see the rest of it, but the grounds themselves are just gorgeous, tucked back here in the mountain. Right, this is the visitor center, which is not part of the original structure. That's the main residence.
And you can tell there's been updates since, you know, 1792 when it was completed, because they've lived here, so they've had to climb with the times. But the actual structure itself is still the modern main house.
I believe this is the other original structure that was left here from the time that when they lived here. This is the smokehouse. It says it was constructed about the same time as the primary house.
Wow. That's wild.
Roof. And then you can see how close it was to the main house. And then some of the grounds. And over here, we got more of The grounds it was on. Trying to find that tree.
I don't know. She told us about 3 different trees that are really old. Probably this one, I think.
Yeah, because it
is
kind of
the
looks
one
like a
that they
pine.
believe
That Lenoir planted.
Yep, it's the bald cypress.
Lives to be about 400 years old, and this one is about, I think she said, what, 380?
No, this is the one I think that they said that they thought he planted
Yeah, yeah.
when he lived here. Because it's got the knees coming out of the ground.
Oh, yeah.
So
this
they
tree,
think that this was built in the 1700s or early 1800s.
right around 1792,
planted,
yeah.
built.
has these cool little, what are these called? I don't know. Here's another really old tree. I believe she said this one was, this is the one that lived to be about 400 years old, and it's about, they think, about 380 years old, yeah. It's crazy. It's a beautiful area, that's for sure.
Gorgeous. The bugs don't necessarily like me very much right now.
Yeah, the bugs are getting her.
I don't know.
She always gets eaten up by the bugs, though.
Ew.
Just finished the tour, and I will say, okay, so it's only $7 for this tour
Per person.
per person, and I would say it's totally worth it for
Well worth it.
the amount of information and knowledge that the tour guide had at going through the house and the grounds here.
Yeah, and just so you know, the tour is just for the main house. You can come and just look around outside and see the smokehouse and the cemetery and the visitor center for free. But if you're going to come here, you have to do the tour. It's only $7 per person, and the information you get and the history is incredible.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting to hear how, one, seeing firsthand how the family lived back then, and how they would kind of split up the rooms, the furniture. A lot of the furniture that's in the house is original, not all of it, but a lot of it.
They have, I think she said, 300 original artifacts.
Yeah.
So that can include, you know, ceramics that they found on the site when they did an archaeological dig. To, I think they said the most prized possession they have is a one-of-a-kind cradle that one of the grandsons made for his grandkids,
right,
or for his kids. So I mean, it's just got so much information. Not just family information either. There's a lot of information about that time and the wars, and just
from the Civil War to the Revolutionary War. Yeah.
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 I mean, it was really, really neat. There were 2 daughters, were they?
Bessie and Lula.
Yeah. And they both passed away a day apart from each other. They were 8 and 6, I think, right?
I think that was it. Something
Yeah.
like that.
And the 6-year-old passed away, and then the day later, the other one passed away, and it was from diphtheria. And they are buried together in the family cemetery in the same plot, holding hands.
Yeah, and a little tidbit about that too was the mom went up to tell, so Bessie and Lula, Bessie died first. Mom went up to tell Lula, and Lula said, "Mom, I know she's gone. I just saw her pass me going to heaven." And then the next day she died.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
One of the Lenoir family members actually had a duel with Andrew Jackson.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. There's just a lot. there's a lot of history. It's worth coming and visiting. You can't do video inside of the home, and I completely understand that. This is their livelihood. You know, that's the tour. The inside is what keeps this place going. So I would
definitely encourage you coming in. If you're going to be in Lenoir,
Yeah.
North Carolina or surrounding, it's worth stopping by, coming through here. It took us about 40 minutes, and that's even with the sit-down session with the guide, and kind of gives you a history of the senior Lenoir, the primary originator of the property.
And we'll show a picture of the front of the house here.
Yeah.
There was an addition added on to the main house. I think he said 30 years later.
Right.
And that's because he let his middle son, his second oldest son, come and bring his 8 kids come and live there. And it didn't take long for that to get old, so he had to build an addition. And he said that they built that addition in 150 days.
He was highly motivated.
And there are no doors going from the addition into the main house.
He definitely was trying to be separated from him.
Yeah, he said that his grandkids were unruly, and that their parents called them honey, and that kids didn't have any
nicknames. They
nicknames,
should have nicknames
like that.
Yeah.
That you just don't treat kids like that.
That's
so
funny.
Different time, but definitely come check it out.
Yep, for sure.
We're going to wrap up this week's video with a drive-through of our first Thousand Trails campground for the summer. This is Green Mountain RV Park in Lenoir, North Carolina. The park's been here for almost 70 years, not quite 70 years, so it is dated, as you'll see in the drive-through. And there are quite a few stationary RVs that do live in the park. However, I wouldn't let that deter you. The park does have a pool, a clubhouse, a fishing pond, and several trails that you can explore. One of the main trails is said to lead to a lake and a dam that was actually built in the 1920s. So for our first leg of this Thousand Trail summer trip we're on, we've been very pleased with the city. I mean, it's steeped in history. The campsite staff, the fellow campers we've met, and just how peaceful the site is. It's really tucked away in the mountains, and it's been very quiet. So everyone has been very welcoming and kind, and I would say overall, we would stay here again if we're ever in the area. I hope you enjoyed this type of video, and if you do, please like and subscribe to our channel below. You can be part of the growth from the very beginning. Since we just started and we're really new at this, we promise that it'll only get better with time. But that's it for this week. Next week we head to South Carolina for 4th of July. Fingers crossed for some fireworks. Until next time, remember, stay motivated and get out there and travel.